Good morning. This is el señor
Ramon Espino.
My name is Manuel Reta, and we're here on a journey, a journey to hopefully you guys can listen to the show, and we're providing education for your health. And today, Doc is going to be talking about arthritis, what to eat, and also what to look out for, and a lot of things that probably doctors don't normally sit down and talk to you about it. But I hope that you're able to send us some questions if you have any at all. We will try to fulfill our part and answer them. Okay, Doc?
Muy buenos días. Es un gusto estar de nuevo con ustedes. Hoy vamos a hablar de algo que nos aqueja a la mayoría de las personas. Y vamos a entender un poco qué causa la artritis y qué dietas podemos comer y qué cosas. Espero que al fin de la clase alcancemos a decirles qué no comer. Pero si no, vamos a continuar porque hay bastante que hablar sobre la artritis. Y déjenme comenzar con lo siguiente. Yo siempre he tenido problemas desde que nos vinimos aquí a Washington con los dolores de las articulaciones y también por el frío y la humedad. Pero he hecho un pequeño experimento y es el siguiente. He dejado de eliminar algunas cosas que me gustan y pues ya mis rodillas no se quejan tanto. Las manos todavía tengo problemas con ellos, sí, pero eso ya es algo diferente. De modo que esta mañana vamos a entender un poco qué es lo que causa la artritis y qué es la artritis. Okay? So for my English-speaking people, this morning we're going to understand a little bit about what causes and what's arthritis, and what things can we eat and what things we shouldn't eat. And so I hope that at the end of the show we have shed some light on what you can do. And remember, I always use the principle, let your food be your medicine.
Right.
So arthritis is really an inflammation of your joints. La artritis es una inflamación de las articulaciones, todas las cosas que se mueven, los codos, los dedos, las rodillas, los tobillos. ¿Ok? So, todo esto tenemos que tomarlo en cuenta. Y claro que no solamente es la comida, sino también las cosas que hacemos, el tipo de trabajo que hacemos y cuántos golpes hemos tenido en nuestro cuerpo. So, we have to understand this. It's not only what we eat, but also the type of work that we do, the types of sports that we play, and the type of injuries that we had before, or how much do we punish our body. So all this will add up at the end. But again, this is, dice, la artritis es una inflamación de la articulación, pertenece al grupo de las enfermedades reumáticas, en la que encontramos también artrosis, la gota o la artritis reumatoide, una enfermedad autoinmune. Y dicen aquí que es de causa desconocida. Y realmente cuando hablamos de una enfermedad autoinmune, lo que pasa es que el mismo cuerpo genera sustancias y el cuerpo se ataca a sí mismo en su manera de defensa. En otras palabras, si usted está molestando mucho su cuerpo, pues entonces causa dolor para que pare un poco la situación. Y eso es importante que nos demos cuenta. Siempre mi consejo es el siguiente: trate de, de encontrar la causa. Y entonces hay que eliminar esa causa, ya sea a través de... Realmente cuando usted va al doctor, pues lo primero que le dan son pastillas contra el dolor. Pero eso no es la curación. La curación es de hacer aquello que nos ayude a mejorar. So for the English speaking people, we have to understand there's not only arthritis, but also this arthritis belongs to a group of rheumatoid illnesses, and we also find arthrosis, gout, and the arthritis rheumatoid. And so that's important. And gout, we're going to spend a good deal of time because I know a lot of people, when it gets to gout, is because you're almost at the end of the rope. But it can also be rescued. I don't want to say cure, but you can alleviate the symptoms and eliminate the pain, eliminate losing your toes, your fingers, or what have you. And really, what's the cause is inflame of your joints and the tissues around it. So let me give you an example. Since I moved here, I started developing pains in my right knee, a little bit in the left knee, and that's because I played soccer until I was 55. I rode horses, I broke horses, and I did all sorts of jumps. I fell from trees, and then all the army punishment that they gave us of running and running with all the gear, and so there's the impact in your joints. So, but also, I know that what we eat is one of the main causes. So what I did, I started eliminating the granolas with sugar. And sugar, I just heard an article or a discussion by people who really know. And sugar is the worst enemy of your body. It is sweet, it tastes good, but it makes you sick.
Let me ask you a question on that, Doc. I know sugar. Now, is more sugar coming from sugar canes, or is it fabricated from something else?
Well, we have sugar, we have dextrose, which is a type of sugar, and we have glucose, which is sugar from milk, okay? And we have all sorts of sugars. But sugar by itself, code coming from cane sugar, if you use the non-processed sugar, probably is the least of the two evils.
Okay.
But once they refine the sugar, it's like anything else. They take all the good stuff and leave the bad stuff. In this case, the best stuff is sweeter. And then the maximum poison that I called, and maybe I'm wrong, is that sugarless, sweeter, or sweets, because they have taken a chemical process and they use something else. And remember, we have been talking about anything that is processed is bad for your body, because then your body is going to have a difficulty to process everything that is processed. So it's going to end up somewhere.
It's not natural like it should be.
It's not a natural. Okay? So, and then also, for example, the granolas that I use, and I still use a little bit just to give it a taste, because I've been eating them a lot for a long time, so it's going to take a long time to really say no more. Like coffee, I quit drinking coffee 20 years ago. I don't have any feel for coffee. Or meat, in my case. It's been over 25 years since we ate meat. I never was too much into eating eggs or fish or cheese or milk. If I recommend the milk, the only one I would recommend is the goat milk, because the goat milk has some medical properties. But that is a different topic for maybe next time, especially if you have children with allergies and so on. That would be the best medicine you can give them. Anyway, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
I raised my oldest daughter a little bit on goat milk, and she drank the goat milk, and she's strong, and she worked for the doctor.
Well, in the case of my daughter, like my two sons, they have allergies like crazy. My daughter, first of all, my wife didn't have enough milk, so we tried the formulas, and formulas are processed food which are bad for your kids. So my doctor, we became very good friends. Dr. Aldrich, he said, you know what, Ramon? I have goats and I milk the goats every day. Why don't you go and get some milk and give it to your daughter? And we raised my daughter in goat milk. And she raised her son in goat milk. Brought a powder from Germany. And she has no allergies.
Good.
And the son seems strong, no allergies. And so, vamos a repetirlo para que escuchen en español la pregunta que él me hizo.
Pues primero comencé con el
azúcar.
El azúcar, la caña también, si es buena o cómo es la cosa.
Sí.
Ya comenzó a platicar.
O sea, la caña, el azúcar de caña en sí, que no ha sido procesada, tiene buenas propiedades.
Sí.
Pero como cualquier otra cosa, hay que usarla con medida.
Sí.
No porque sea orgánica o sea lo que le llaman azúcar café, porque le pueden poner colorante para que diga que es caña de azúcar.
Sí.
Entonces hay que usarla con cuidado. Yo sé que nos encanta lo dulce. A mí me encantaban los dulces de México, hechos en azúcar y todo eso, el camote, calabaza, los jamoncillos de leche y todo eso lo corté hace mucho tiempo. Pero el azúcar también viene en otras formas. Las frutas tienen azúcar, pero se llama fructosa y no es procesada. Entonces hay que comer frutas, pero no hay que comernos un costal de fruta. Hay que comer poca fruta. Todo lo que es bueno, recuerden, con medida, y todo lo que es malo, ni lo toquen. Y van a darse ustedes cuenta que trabaja. Yo hice un experimento para el dolor de mis rodillas, porque llegué hasta sentir de que no podía caminar. Entonces, lo que hice, pues, eliminé las granolas que tienen azúcar, aunque dice cane sugar o azúcar de caña, pero no sé cuánta le pongan.
Sí.
Ese es el problema. Y la otra de chocolate con azúcar. Entonces es una doble combinación. Pues no las eliminé completamente, sino que bajé de comerlas, no diario, sino bajé la cantidad y las como de vez en cuando. Pues miren, en una semana se me han arreglado las rodillas. No tengo poquito dolor, pero no me duelen, puedo levantarme, puedo caminar. Entonces ahora estoy trabajando en las manos porque pues estas manos están muy golpeadas. Es otra de las causas de las riumas, como hablamos en español, especialmente cuando uno usa mucho el pico, usa las manos cerradas o maneja. Los choferes siempre van con las manos cerradas, entonces las manos se ponen así, vean, mire, para que vean cómo están los dedos curviados de tanto golpearlos. Entonces lo que yo hago ahora, los pongo en la mesa y les doy masaje y les pongo unas cremas antiinflamatorias que hay, que yo las recomiendo, pero lo que más tenemos que recomendar es que en las articulaciones es donde se puede formarse el calcio, calcificación, y es cuando ya no las podemos mover. Entonces, yo hice el experimento de eso y ahora pues estoy mejor. Y pues estoy muy golpeado del fútbol. Yo jugué fútbol activo hasta los 55. Y les digo que ahora ya las chilenas me están alcanzando. Pero no las muchachas, sino las maromas que hacemos para dar para patear el balón, y cae uno sobre la cintura. Entonces, es algo conocido que los futbolistas al fin de su carrera sufren de muchos problemas en las articulaciones. Muy bien. Causas de la artritis.
Y la más importante también, la cosa que se olvidó, es de la leche.
Oh, de la leche.
De sus hijas, sí, mis hijas también.
También, gracias por recordarme. Si tienen problemas, por ejemplo, los niños con alergias, yo les recomiendo la leche de chiva. Creo que entre las leches es la mejor. Yo tuve un problema con mi hija y entonces el doctor Aldrich, que era mi doctor allá en San Diego, California, un día le conté y él tenía cabras. Les dicen granadinas o de Suiza, o como de allá son de Suiza. Entonces me dijo, ve, y entonces él ordeñaba la leche calientita, yo se la traía a mi hija y ella empezó a tomarla, porque probamos todas las fórmulas y le caían mal. Mi esposa no tenía suficiente leche. Entonces, lo que nos dimos cuenta después de todo este tiempo es que de mis 3 hijos, ella no tiene alergias. Y los 2 hijos sí están con alergia porque fueron criados con Similac y con otras fórmulas. Entonces, recuerden que el principio que nosotros utilizamos aquí es que tu comida sea tu medicina. Sí. Entonces, eso es bien importante. Para ustedes, si tienen niños con alergias, pues prueben la leche de cabra, y hay leche de cabra orgánica, en vez de que les den medicamentos que tienen efectos secundarios. Sí. Todos los medicamentos tienen efectos secundarios. Y todo lo que nosotros comemos tienen efectos secundarios, ya sean buenos o ya sean malos. Sí. Ok, entonces ya cubrimos todo.
Yo también tuve mi mayor hija también, igualmente le damos leche de chiva cuando estaba pequeña, bebé, y no creció grande, es una enfermera y no le fue muy bien. También con sus hijos que ella crió también, pues ya estaba, la salud de ella siguió muy bien ella.
Ok, déjenme leerles algo en español y yo no, recuerden que fui científico por muchos años y yo creo en la ciencia, pero les voy a decir esto y no me malinterpreten. No todos los medicamentos son iguales, ni todos los medicamentos han sido investigados completamente. Y les voy a decir a ustedes aquí, y no tengo nada en contra de las vacunas, aunque yo no soy vacunado, y hasta ahorita, gracias a Dios, no nos hemos enfermado, porque el que me puede enfermar está aquí a mi lado, porque ya se vacunó. Sí. Y yo leo mucho que las personas que se han vacunado están más propensos a que les dé el COVID, nada más que no se dan cuenta. Y entonces infectan a otras personas. ¿Ok? Pero bueno, hasta ahorita, gracias a Dios, no nos tanto a los 3 viejos que vivimos ahí en la casa, no nos hemos enfermado. Porque recuerden, primera que todo, creemos en Dios.
Amén.
Y sabemos que Dios es nuestro protector.
Sí.
Pero para que Él nos proteja, pues nosotros tenemos que ser obedientes a Dios y seguir los consejos de la salud que encontramos en el libro santo.
Sí.
Porque ahí está la dieta del Edén. Y si ustedes quieren comprobarlo y tienen la Biblia, vaya y ábralo en Génesis 1, 27 al 29. Ahí lo que le dio a Adán y a Eva que comiera. Bueno, volvamos al tópico. Oh, let me say it to the English people what I didn't cover. What I'm saying is, especially in this time, I've been reading lots of articles, and where they say that people that have vaccinated are more susceptible to get sick again. And this is my humble opinion as a retired scientist. If the vaccines were as good as they say, you don't need but one vaccine. And that should be good. But now they're in the 4th or 5th booster. And really what they're doing, they're making money. Okay? You're not paying for it, but the government is paying it, and we pay the government through the back door with our taxes. So we're paying for it. So again, I think the most important thing is work on your body, get your system in order, your immune system, so you are strong enough to withstand. Because we believe in God, and when God created Adam and Eve, he gave him a specific diet. And if you believe in the book, going up in Genesis 1:27 to 29, and there you find the diet that he gave. And I believe that that's what we're talking about. But since the science has progressed, well, they have work trying to take the place of God and modifying the natural food and make more production of it, put more whatever they put to make things grow faster. So all those residues of chemicals are going to be absorbed into what we eat, and there they can cause some problems.
Well, keep in mind too, the number one guy that was promoting the COVID shot under our president right now. Remember his name?
Yes.
He got COVID, and he took the shots. So all through the system here's a man. I don't want to put him down, but he's human like everybody else. But he prepared himself. He talked the talk, get a shot, get the number 1, 2, or 3 booster, whatever. And a lot of people listened. A lot of people did it. He also did it, and he got COVID. So you see, it really depends upon your faith and how you go about trying to keep your health. And that is important. Don't go to big parties where you can get it, whatever, because it is contagious, I guess, in some way or form. So take care of yourself and eat the right things, and you should be good.
And get your immune system strong.
Very good.
Okay? Very good. Okay, what factors cause arthritis? Number 1, we can talk about the genetics. Okay? Unfortunately, we have suffered degradation of our body, and this is passed on from fathers to sons to grandsons and so on. My father had problems with sciatic. Well, I do have sciatic, and this is something that we cannot get away, but we can work on it, such that we can prevent it in our next generations. So, number 2, age. As we grow older, well, we're going to get weaker, especially if we don't take care of our body. So, 2 factores principales. El factor genético que heredamos de nuestros padres y se va degradando porque hemos degradado nuestro cuerpo. Okay? También el otro factor que tenemos es la edad. Vamos creciendo viejos, nos hacemos más débiles, pero yo digo, si trabajamos nuestro cuerpo, le damos de comer lo que necesita, vamos a estar fuertes.
Sí.
Digo, yo ayer me eché una jornada como de 7 horas trabajando, poniendo pasto. Hoy estoy adolorido, pero me siento bien.
Sí.
Ya gente de mi edad ya no aguantan de esas, ¿cómo se dice? Esas jornadas. Aunque quiero decirles que en México yo conocí muchos viejitos que les decían, cuando yo tenía 12, 14 años, dice, ese viejito es bien fuerte. 80, 85, 90 años trabajando la tierra a mano. Eran flaquitos, pero estaban sanos porque vivían de la tierra. Okay, age. And, as we grow older, we haven't taken care of our body, so we're going to affect our body. So it's something that even if you age, and here comes one factor that we've been talking about, you need to drink water. Okay? Clear water. And, unfortunately, I don't want anybody, if his listening is related to the government or to the water company, they use chemicals that, in my opinion, as a chemist, they're not the healthiest for your body. Even though they say that at that level, it doesn't affect your body. There are many chemicals at the parts per million. In another 1 part and 1 million parts, they're toxic. And they can deposit into your system, and within time, they'll make their job of making us sick. So remember, water. Water is important because we said our body has between 60 to 70% of water. And without water, our system doesn't work. No black water, no blue water, no orange water, no Coke water, no root beer water. And root beer, I want to confess to you, it was my weakness because of the flavor. Okay? And sometimes, from time to time, I feel tempted to have. So what I do, I put half a root beer and half a lemonade just to taste it. But you see, the habits that we learn from youth, they're difficult to get rid of it. And I'm not a saint. I'm just like you. I'm a human being that has weakness and has a strength. But the strengths have to overtake the weakness. Okay, so age. Y recuerden la otra cosa, el sexo. Según estadísticas, el 60% de las personas que padecen artritis son mujeres. Sin embargo, la gota, otra enfermedad reumática, es más común en los hombres. Okay, so sex, according to statistics, 16% of the persons who have arthritis are women. And for men, gout is the other type of arthritis, which we call gout. So it's developed. And later on, we're going to talk about gout. I found it very interesting. So that's something else. Sobrepeso y obesidad. El tener exceso de peso nunca es bueno, y en este caso no va a ser menos. Es un factor de riesgo considerado modificable, capaz de evitar múltiples patologías. ¿Ok? Y para los que no entienden, patologías son enfermedades. ¿Ok? So the next is overweight and obesity. So if you have excess of weight, well, you're joints are going to have to work double time. And so that's where it comes. And so this is something that we have to take care of, because if we're overweight, it's going to have other what we call pathologies, other type of illness all over. And that if you're overweight, well, the possibility you have diabetes, you have so many other illnesses that can appear.
Let me bring him a point along with what the doc is talking about right now. You've heard the terminology couch potato. Okay, that person is persons that don't eat much, that sit behind a TV long time, just sitting there eating popcorn and everything you can think of, and they don't not lose their weight. They get a little bit more chunkier and chunkier all the time. So that is what I call a couch potato. Somebody that's not able to go out and exercise, go up in the woods and hike and hunt, or just get away, exercise. The couch potatoes don't do that. And unfortunately, and women are not to blame. They got their own duties, but I also respect them. But they also need to be able to go on hikes, exercise, to lose a lot of that weight that really in reality is not needed for your health, for your body. That all that weight is going to cause problems with your heart, circulation, even up here.
Cholesterol,
Everything you
diabetes,
can think of.
hypertension.
And so it's important. It's important to realize that. It's important to go out and walk the beach or do something like that. Don't become a couch potato.
Yeah.
That will harm you completely entirely.
Something that I have here in the article says that people who are overweight, they are going to develop osteoarthritis of the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and probably also of your ankles, because those are the moving parts to walk and to move. Let me tell you, for people who are overweight, the best strategy is get up and walk.
Mm-hmm.
Drink water. The other day, and this is a secret, don't tell them to anybody, okay? I have a good friend. She manages the gym here, and I say, how can I eliminate some of my love handles?
Uh-huh.
She said, drink lots of water. And then I must admit that when I'm pretty busy, I don't drink too much water, even if I'm sweating. And yesterday I lost about 3 pounds doing physical work. And that's one of the advantages that I have, that I'm pretty active. I'm always doing something outside. Yes, too, with all this war in Ukraine, I tend to sit down more what's going on. And also with the Trump situation, I'm out there trying to find out what's going on. But it's true. It is true. You have to find an activity that helps you to be healthy. Otherwise, you're going to have problems with obesity. También quiero decirles a los que están escuchando que si están obesos, pues hay la posibilidad de desarrollar diabetes, colesterol, hipertensión, o sea, presión alta de la sangre. Podemos prevenir o evitar la aparición de osteoartritis de la rodilla. Y yo quiero decirles que la rodilla duele y no lo deja uno caminar. Además, si practicamos ejercicios sobrepeso o obesidad, podemos sufrir lesiones de las articulaciones. En otras palabras, si estamos gordos y queremos correr o queremos jugar fútbol, pues vamos a estresar nuestros huesos. De modo que, como buen ejemplo, gracias a Manuel, que siempre me tiene cortito con el agua.
Y es la verdad, la agua, it is important that the water is an excellent source for your health. Without that, I mean, our body has a percentage of water in it already as it is,
Ujú.
and it's good for you because that's how our body was created. Most of you who know Bible, when Christ was on the cross, they took the spear on his side to see if he was dead, and what came out of his side? Water and blood.
Ok.
So we do have that.
Ujú. Eso es cierto, muy cierto. Muy bien. ¿Cómo controlar el dolor? Existen ciertas recomendaciones a tener en cuenta en caso de dolor por una enfermedad reumática. Algunas de estas sugerencias implican un cambio radical en nuestro estilo de vida. Y yo les quiero animar, digo, no es fácil. Yo quiero decirles a ustedes que no es fácil. Cuando yo hice el cambio, al siguiente día yo me quería rajar, pero tengo una compañera que es muy disciplinada y me dijo, no, vamos a seguir. Yo pesaba por ahí unos 160 y tantas libras. Para mi estatura, estar gordo. Es más, las guayaberas ya no me quedaban cuando trabajé en México por andar de burócrata y en las cenas a las 9 de la noche y había carnes y había pollo y había de todo y entonces cenando a las 9 de la noche. Entonces eso es malísimo para el cuerpo.
Bueno, con eso, doctor, está bien, se lo hace una vez por año, una vez por mes, pues se lo hace seguir de una manera, entonces no.
Sí, no, o sea, es cierto, de vez en cuando, pues, los invitan a celebrar y pues puede uno comer,
Sí.
pero recuerde, hay que comer con medida, pero
Medida.
cuando uno está en esta vida social, pues, por no quedar mal, pues come, y como no me costaba nada, el gobierno pagaba, hasta que un día caminando en la Ciudad de México por la Avenida Insurgentes, sentí que me ahogaba y yo pensé que me iba a dar un ataque de corazón. Y en ese tiempo, pues yo usaba mucho la bota cowboy, que pesa más. Entonces me regresé al hotel, me quité las botas y me puse mis tenis y en ese momento yo hice la decisión que tenía que hacer algo. Y lo que hice fue que cuando regresé a la casa le dije a mi señora, voy a hacer una dieta porque estoy sobrepeso. Y nos fuimos de vacaciones por el Pacífico, desde Tijuana hasta Puebla, México, y regresé en unas dos semanas con 16 libras menos. Y es cuando empezamos a hacer el cambio. Okay, for the English-speaking people, what I'm telling the Spanish people that when I work in Mexico with the Technologic Institute, I was part of the bureaucracy, so dinners were free, paid by the government, everything, but it was late, between 9 and 10 at night. I ate, I came and went to bed, got up the next morning, and then at lunchtime the following day, the same thing, eating all the stuff that tastes good, but is bad for you. And then one day I realized I was in Mexico City. I went for meetings, and I was walking along one of the famous avenues there, and I felt like I was choking, and I felt my heart just going crazy. And so I came back and I told my wife, I am going to start a diet because I'm overweight. 168 is too many. I should be weighing probably 150 at the most. And so I came back, and then I went in another trip, but I was driving, and I took my wife and my kids with me. So I started a diet, and within 2 weeks, I came back with 16 pounds less. And I felt bad. But everybody looked at me and said, Ramon, are you sick? Because from having my big cheeks, my cheeks were in. And I said, no, I never felt better. And that's when we started making changes to our diet.
And a very simple thing that we always keep in mind, that his conscience told him that he was a little overweight. Nobody had to tell him, and that's what I believe that's in the Bible, that a small still voice. God does miracles on us. He tells us certain things, but we have to be obedient. He was obedient and doing what he had to do, and he made a decision that he had to get his health together, his body, or else he's going to have a heart attack. And so that in reality, he made the call, he told his wife and everything else, and he made a change in the life. It takes guts. It takes a really hard, determined person to do that sometimes. But we all have that will. But it's up to you. You have that call. You have the power in that manner. So.
Okay, gracias.
For nada.
Gracias. Okay, what can we do? Number one, reduce stress. Mm-hmm. We live on this time of the earth where our lifestyle has changed completely. And I can tell you about stress because I work in the science. Mm-hmm. And I live under stress. My son was here for Father's Day, and he just was promoted to one of the highest positions, but he's with that thing. And excuse me, Dad, I have a cold. He directs a group of 18 people, and they do it's a business related, so it's millions and billions of dollars that they have to manage. So that's stressful. Mm-hmm. And then the stress can also make us hungry, mm-hmm. and we eat more. We have also constant mental activity. We have to find a time for ourselves, detached from your work, detached from your business, and just dedicate it to you. Yeah. Because you are the most important person. And you are the person that can make the decision that I want to be healthy. Nobody else can force you to do that. You're the only one. Preoccupation, nervousness, that makes that our body system have shocks or shock waves. And so then that starts affecting your life. El primer cosa que pueden hacer es tratar de reducir el estrés. La preocupación le hace daño a la mente, le hace daño al cuerpo, provoca enfermedades de lo que nosotros creemos. Uh-huh. O sea, la mente es muy poderosa. Tenemos que aprender a vivir con esto. Pero por eso siempre haga un tiempo para usted. Aún a mi esposa le digo, ve y acuéstate. Olvídate del resto, que no tendí la cama. Olvídate de la cama. A veces, no todos los días, yo la atiendo. Porque por muchos años yo tendí mi cama. Uh-huh. Por muchos años yo cociné porque mi madre estuvo enferma de la parte mental. Uh-huh. Ella se enfermó de la parte mental y es lo que la hizo que muriera hasta el final y murió con cáncer. Porque la mente es muy poderosa. Si no dominamos la mente nos domina a nosotros. Uh-huh. ¿Ok? La próxima cosa que podemos hacer es actividad física. Además de mejorar el estado de ánimo y reducir el estrés, el ejercicio es una manera simple y eficaz de aliviar sin la necesidad de medicamentos el dolor causado por la artritis, mejorando la calidad de la vida de la persona. Creo que usted dice, bueno, señor Espino, me está diciendo que por falta de actividad física es que me duele esto. Pues sí, porque si usted no mueve sus rodillas, es como un carro. Lo deja usted allá afuera estacionado por un año y se va a oxidar. Lo mismo con el cuerpo humano, nos vamos a oxidar. De modo que encuentre tiempo, ya sea hombre o mujer, encuentre tiempo solamente para usted. Yo le digo a mi esposa, no tiendas la cama si no te alcanza el tiempo. En la noche la tendemos, la limpiamos y nos acostamos. Y sobre todo, la actividad física es muy medicinal para nuestro cuerpo. Physical activity. It is an essential part to reduce, number one, stress. A simple way to exercise, and simple way to exercise is walk. Go around the block, or even if they think that you're crazy, if they see you go around every day, you know. In my case, I'm always doing something there, but it pays off because now everybody cut their grass. So it looks like my grass. And the person who cannot cut the grass, I go out there and cut the grass for them because he's sick. He's overweight. He needs to lose 100 pounds before they can replace his knees, do a knee replacement, because his stomach he probably, I don't know, 50 inches or more. But I get up at 7 o'clock and I look outside and he's sitting out there. I don't know. I said, you're retired. And then I don't know what he eats. All I know that also has a big fridge there with bottles of wine. Okay? And I don't know what else does he eat, but he was a driver all his life, so essentially those joints are stiff. I don't know how many of you have driven, would say 48 hours. When you get, or if you drive 6 hours and you get off from your vehicle, it is tough to walk. So that's why physical activity is very important.
And I have to say yes to that because a lot of times truck drivers don't go out and start exercising in the exercise machines or whatever. All they do is sit and drive and drive and drive. And it's taking a toll on their body, on their legs, on their stomach, their backs, everything else. And the stress that they also obtain while driving, making sure that nobody runs into them. There's a lot of factors involved in that. But I think it's important that anybody should make time to exercise or go for walks and try to work on their diet, on their health in that way.
Yeah. Déjenme decirles en español y lo voy a extender un poquito esto porque es bien importante y me recuerdo de algunas cosas que he visto en el camino.
Sí.
Los choferes, creo que es uno de los trabajos más estresantes. Estoy hablando de choferes comerciales, de los trailers que viajan de un estado al otro, porque llevan miles de dólares bajo su cuidado. Y lo que ellos tratan de hacer, entre más maneje, más gana. Pero entre más maneje, menos ejercita y quizá no coman ni bien. Y les voy a dar un ejemplo. Yo me acuerdo, y no se me olvida de la mente, yendo entre California y Texas, nos paramos en un lugar de troques, un rest area, y tenía mesas afuera, y estaba este chofer súper gordo, que literalmente tenía la panza arriba de la mesa, comiéndose una cheeseburger, papitas y Coca-Cola. 3 venenos. Y quiero decirles a ustedes, las papas fritas son veneno. ¿Por qué? Porque en primer lugar están fritas en grasa que está súper saturada de tanto hervir todo el día y ahí las echan y las sacan. Y gracias a Dios que yo me salí de las papas fritas. Hacemos papas en la casa, pero son bake, o sea, se cocinan en el horno. Y ese ejemplo no se me olvida de este chofer. Por eso es necesario, y yo, sin embargo, miré a otros choferes que llegaban, en las veces se bajaban y empezaban a caminar. Unos 15 minutos o el tiempo que tuvieran y seguían. Y estaban fit, estaban delgados, se veían bien. Entonces, si usted es troquero, pues yo le invito a que ejercite más, especialmente en los días. Ok, vamos a... Ya casi se nos termina la hora, se nos ha ido muy rápido. Next thing is diet and what we eat. Okay? So, besides exercise, diet, and what we eat forms a tandem to control arthritis. The diet is very important porque en primer lugar nos ayuda a tener un peso normal. And consequently, we are going to reduce the load in our articulations or our joints. Added to this is what type of diet do we eat. Because the type of nutrients that we eat is what makes the difference. And remember, we need to eat to alleviate the symptoms of arthritis. And I'm going to extend it a little bit. And if we stick to a healthy diet, you are going to control diabetes. I can tell you that. And I was surprised to tell my wife at the end of the week, well, my knees don't hurt. I wonder what happened. Well, that's because I eliminated two things that we eat a lot in the morning. And so I guess my sugar levels are down. And also, I think I told you at the beginning of the talk, I listened to a gentleman talking about sugar. And I said, oh my God. He calls it poison because it creates a dependency and harms your body and causes other illnesses such as diabetes. Your liver has to process all the sugar, and afterwards, your liver gets tired of that. You don't generate enough what you call it.
Is that oxygen in the veins and everything?
And that also can prevent that, but your gallbladder, it won't produce bile.
Okay.
And the bile is the cooking element so the liver can process everything, filter what's bad and what's good, and so on. So then later on, it doesn't have that. So what happens? It just flows in your blood.
Yeah. Well, in reality, the sugar that you take in, if you eat too much sugar, that goes through all your veins, doesn't it, Doc? And so that has an effect as far as its circulation goes, your heart. It's all in the blood and everything else. It's just polluting the whole system, really, in reality.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Para finalizar, la dieta y la alimentación, junto con el ejercicio, forman un tándem perfecto para controlar la artritis. La dieta es muy importante en general, pero en este caso, lo primero que nos ayuda a mantener un peso ideal y en consecuencia evitamos reducir la carga sobre las articulaciones. Además de esto, el tipo de alimentación que lleve una persona puede ser muy importante, ya que dependiendo de cómo sea, se aportarán un tipo de nutrientes u otros, los cuales son capaces de aliviar los síntomas de la enfermedad. Y yo les digo a ustedes, aliviar es necesario. Yo me di cuenta y dije, ¿qué pasó? Y yo siempre me gusta recordar qué ha sido nuestra dieta esta semana. Y pues qué bueno que lo hicimos. Muy bien. Dice, si hablamos de cuál sea el tipo de alimentación ideal, debemos destacar principalmente los alimentos antiinflamatorios, como son las imprescindibles estos: fruta, verdura, aceite de oliva, nueces y aquellos que sean ricos en omega 3. Okay, for my friends and English speaking people, for a diet, and we're going to finish this section today, and next time we'll go in the foods that cause arthritis, okay, and the foods that help arthritis to counteract. Okay, so for the for your meals or your food, you want to ingest food which is anti-inflammatory, such as fruits, greens, olive oil, nueces, nuts, and those that are rich in omega 3. Okay, in omega 3. And next time we're going to talk about omega 3, omega 6, and which of those stuff that we eat doesn't have any of those. And so therefore we are deficient and we get sick.
What has omega 3, whatever, that you can eat?
Well, let's leave it for next time.
Okay.
We'll let them have it, and I'll bring which ones have omega 3.
Okay, good.
Within this group that we talk about it. Okay?
Good.
Okay, so the next question, also we're going to talk about alkaline diet.
Okay.
So in there, we're going to find out about everything, omega 3, omega 6. Omega 3 is very important because it's the substance that gets our immune system strong. Okay? So, que tengan muy buen día. Ha sido un privilegio estar con ustedes. Cuídense mucho. Y con la ayuda de Dios nos veremos el próximo miércoles.
And I hope you enjoyed the show, and be sure to share it with your friends, because we're here to help you. You know, that's the reason that we're here on the air. Just pass the word, and we go from there. And thank you very much. You all have a wonderful week. Goodbye.
Very good.